When you are working on a project and you're going for requirement solicitation meetings, you're not just going to talk to one stakeholder, or you're not going to ask just one set of questions. You will talk to the finance team, depending on what kind of an initiative it is. You can talk to the finance team, you can talk to the operations, you can talk to HR, and so on. Why that is important? That is because every stakeholder may have a different set of requirements, right? Also, the requirements are of different levels depending on whom you're talking. For a very senior executive or the CEO of a company, the requirements or expectations from the project is going to be very different from somebody who is at the ground level and actually into the operations. How do you look at these requirements and why it is important to classify requirements in any initiative? This is what we are going to look at in this video. Let's get started. Requirements classification or classifying the requirements is a framework which is proposed in BABOK, and it defines four types of requirements. Okay. Now, these requirements tell you about different sets or different levels of requirements expected by different stakeholders in the organization or based on different stages of the project. What are these four types? The business requirements, the stakeholder requirements, the solution requirements, which includes functional and non-functional requirements, and finally the transition requirements. Now, all these four actually tell you different requirements which can be helpful in executing the project. So, why it is important? It is important because it helps you in not mixing up the requirements. It also helps you in really understanding and segregating what is expected at different stages. For example, if you're looking at transition requirements, that is something which is a one-time requirement, but it is needed to transition or implement the new system in the organization, right? Which is very different from understanding what is the need, who are the stakeholders, what does stakeholder want. This is a very different type of a requirement, but very important. So by following this classification, you'll be able to really have a good grasp on what is required at different stages. Now let's look at each one of these in detail. First one is business requirements. Business requirements is about understanding the goals, the objectives, why part of the project, which is being initiated by the client and you are going to execute, right? So this is the business perspective, or this is the expectation of the business. Then next to the business is stakeholder. What is stakeholder? The people who are going to be participating in the project, right? Now, different stakeholders coming from different departments will have different sets of requirements, isn't it? So it is not going to be uniform for all the stakeholders. So business requirements are at a higher level. Stakeholder requirements will be next level, more detailed, and it will set the expectations for each stakeholder. Then further down, you will have solution requirements. Now, solution term here means what will be the requirements or the features or the capabilities of the solution. So there are two types, functional and non-functional. Last one is transition. What is that one-time requirement which will take the system from the current solution, current stage to the future stage? We are going to see an example so that you can understand it better. Now, let's take a simple example of a restaurant which is looking to create a new app so that the errors which are happening at the time of taking the orders and the timely delivery and improving the time. Basic application which a restaurant chain wants so that it can be implemented in all of its fine dining restaurants. Right? Now, let's come into the business requirement. What is the business? Why does the business want this application? It could be related to they want to improve the customer experience because there are errors. A customer on a table is giving order for 5 items. Either those 5 items are not delivered in time. That is one problem which they're facing. Number two, there are errors in which items are being delivered. Okay. At the end of it, they want to improve the customer experience so that they can come back again. So this was the business requirement for this particular application. Now let's go to the stakeholders. Who are the stakeholders? In this, the stakeholders are going to be the chef, which is the head chef, or somebody who is managing the kitchen, and also the waiters who are taking the orders. Now, what would be the stakeholder requirements? Let's first talk about the chef. Chef is in the kitchen. They have no idea what kind of orders are being taken. What do they want? They want kind of a display screen where they can see all the orders which is being taken by the waiters. So they can see the order as they are coming in the same order. And once it is delivered, they want it to go. Okay. So that is something which the head chef might be looking. Then we come to the waiter. Now, when the waiter is taking the order and the customer is telling about a dish, the audio or the oral version can be misinterpreted. So they can have a tablet where they can see the images and show it to the client and say, okay, this is what you want. Then it would become very helpful for the waiter. And also from the system perspective, it will eliminate the errors which are currently happening. Okay, so this will become, these are the stakeholders. The third one is the solution one, the functional requirements or the non-functional. Now, functional requirements are something which is about what does the system do, right? What are the capabilities? For example, the system is capable of immediately sending the order to the display of the head chef and keeping that display on so that the head chef is able to see orders which are pending all the time. Also, how much time is taking to deliver the order. And there is no zigzag in terms of which order has come first. So that should be delivered first. Or something like what is the entree and all of that, that they can be, there's a facility which is required. So this is kind of a capability of this. The waiter should be able to see the images of the food items, right? These are the capabilities. These are called functional requirements. Then comes the non-functional requirement. What is a non-functional requirement? Something which is related to the ability of a system to work properly. Right? For example, when I said the order should display on the head chef's display, now it should happen immediately. It should not happen after 5 minutes because if that happens, there is a delay already built in. So it should be quick and that can be defined. How much time it can take to naturally take the order on the tablet and transfer it to the display. 2 seconds, 3 seconds, that can be discussed later. But this is an example. Okay, so these were the functional and non-functional requirements for the system. Just before I move on to the next one, the non-functional requirements can also be considered to be the qualities of a system. So this typically non-functional requirements are related to performance, it could be user experience, it could be related to the kind of security measures it has, encryption, and so on. So these are the things which are considered under non-performance. Now we go to the transition requirements, the last. So the transition requirements are typically one-time. For example, in this case, the tablet to work and the waiter to be able to take the order, they need to get all the food items, the menu, as well as the pictures uploaded before they can start taking. Right? So that means there is a data migration or data upload requirement before the system could start functioning. Right? So these kind of requirements are one time, right? Once the data is uploaded, you don't need to upload it the same thing again and again. Of course, if there is an update, that can be done through some administrative streams. Other thing could be training the waiter and the head chef as to how to use this system, right? That will also be an important part of transition. So these are the four types of requirements which are typically used to understand the requirements holistically and also to get idea about how these things are going to play out and how can we address all of these rather than just looking at the functionality or the non-functional requirements or something in particular. Okay, so that was about how to classify requirements, what kind of a classification schema proposed by BABOK and I. I hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching it. If you like the video, please subscribe to our channel.